Good morning, everybody. We're back for our last part of the Raisin Bran muffin recipe. And in here, I have the mix that has chilled overnight. And as you can see, the whole bowl, I'm gonna show you here, has completely all muffin mix. So like I said, if you wanna cut this mix in half, if you don't wanna make this many, or if you even wanna make less, quarter it, and it should come out just perfect for, a half a dozen to a dozen muffins that way. This makes quite a few, but I'm going to make a couple of different sizes. So I like to make this full recipe. And like I said in the previous video, that I like to also freeze them, so I have some on hand. I can just take them right out of the freezer and warm them up, or just let them sit out on the counter to thaw and take them for lunches or have them for breakfast. These are great breakfasts, but they're also good for a snack. Sometimes, at that like 3:30 time frame when you really feel like something to hold you over if you're gonna have a late dinner or something like that, just take one of these. It'll fill you right up, and they're so hearty and good. So I just have a regular standard muffin tin here, a dozen muffin tin, and some cooking spray. So I'm just going to go ahead and generously spray each individual muffin section here. And I put quite a bit just because I don't line them with paper. This is a stickier recipe, so I don't use the cupcake papers. But if you want to, you can try it. It will be okay. I have done it before. I just like them better when they're not in the cupcake, because sometimes when you peel the cupcake, half the muffin comes with it, So I just use a regular ice cream scoop for this. And like I said yesterday, this mix is very thick. Now you can see it almost looks like an ice cream scoop right there. So don't worry, if it looks like that, that's exactly what you want it to look like, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and just dig now you can see a few little white spots of the, in the mix. That is just flour and other things like that didn't quite get absorbed. And that's okay. Once you scoop it and stuff, it kind of gets all mixed in. So there's always some. So don't be alarmed by that. It's completely fine. So in here, don't forget, is you can kind of make it your own as far as if you wanted to add the walnuts. And like I said, I added the pecans as well. And that to me just gives it such a great flavor along with the cinnamon. If you're not a big cinnamon lover, you can definitely leave it out, although it does really complement the raisins and the Raisin Bran cereal too. That's why I just like it so much. And the recipe definitely calls for it. And when I post the recipe, I will put that in there, and also the nuts and the extra raisins, because my grandmother always did it, so I got to do what she does, right? So I've got the dozen muffins here. I'm going to pop them into a 400-degree oven, and that's going to cook for 20 minutes. So as soon as these are done, we're going to take them out so you can see the finished results, and we'll be right back. Okay, everybody, the muffins have been cooking for about 20 minutes. They are pretty much done. But before I take them out, I just want to show you a picture just to kind of tie everything in with how special that family memories are for you and for me. This is my Nana Wiley. This is her wedding picture, and my Grandpa Wiley. And this is her sister stood up with her, and so it was a really great picture, and I'm so grateful that I have it. And so every time I do make these, she is fresh in my mind. And so I thought that you guys would like to just kind of see a picture of her. That was taken many, many years ago. Her birthday's just coming up in a couple of weeks, and so on March 10th. So I will actually be down in Florida around that time, and always like to go to where they used to snowbird and stay in the winter and just kind of look at the places and the memories and things like that. So I've just got my cooling rack out, along with a little hot plate to put my muffin tin on. So let's go ahead and grab those out of the oven. Like I said, they were at 400 degrees, and they cooked for about 20 minutes until a toothpick came out clean. Okay, so, and they are done. They look nice and golden brown. Yeah, these are great, and they're firm to the touch on the top, so you know that they're done. These are a very dense muffin. Okay, so they're not like airy and fluffy and things like that. They're more dense. Okay, but they are absolutely delicious. So these just turn right out onto the cooling rack. I'm gonna grab like a little knife maybe, because you've generously sprayed this muffin tin, so it should come out just like that. Okay, so as a matter of fact, I'm gonna see how they look. They're perfect, and they're darker in color. Don't be afraid of that because of the bran, because of the cinnamon, and all those. The buttermilk actually helps deepen that as well. The buttermilk is an actual densening ingredient as well. Now, if you don't have buttermilk and you have all the other ingredients and you don't want to run to the store, you can make your own buttermilk. All buttermilk is regular, if you have some regular milk, and white vinegar. And I can't remember the ratio. I believe it's a teaspoon of vinegar to a cup of milk, but I will look it up and I will post that for you so that you have that little side tip. So you don't have to always have every ingredient exact. Now, just to kind of recap what we did here, don't forget, just use one box of the Raisin brand. Don't worry about measuring out 15 ounces. Or if you had like a bowl of cereal out of it, then just dump the rest in the bowl, okay? So the regular 16.6 ounces of the Raisin brand cereal mix, put that right in the bowl. And then you're gonna add 5 cups of flour to that, and you wanna kind of mix that all together, okay? And then after that, we do the 3 cups of sugar and the 2 teaspoons of salt. And I've kind of mixed that in along with the 5 teaspoons of baking soda. So, and then really get that mixed in really well. Even if you wanted to take all the flour, the dry ingredients, and mix them ahead of time and then put them into the cereal, that would work too. Actually, it might mix it up a little bit better, okay? So then for the wet ingredients, we took the 4 eggs, we beat them up, okay, into the dish. We added the 1 cup of vegetable oil, and then 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And I just kind of toss that, mix it, and dump it in. And then 1 whole quart of the buttermilk. Okay, now remember, you'll have to do your measurements as far as if you have to make your own, okay? So, but you can usually find those right in the grocery store, and buttermilk usually has a much longer expiration date than regular milk. But you can go ahead and take a look at it. Each store, each brand is different. Okay, so feel free to do that. That gets poured in, you stir it up. And you want to really mix that, incorporate that a lot. And then you take your cinnamon, and like I said, I like a lot of cinnamon, but that makes a lot of muffins. So you're going to do 4 to 5 tablespoons of cinnamon. And just sprinkle that in there, mix it, and then that's when you add all your fun ingredients like your walnuts, your extra raisins. Remember, I did the 2 cups of walnuts and I chopped them up. You can buy already chopped walnuts if you want to. I buy whole ones because I use them for so many different things, and some things I chop them for and some things I use them whole for. So I did 2 cups of walnuts, and then I finally chopped them up. And then I took 1 cup of raisins, and I also added 1 cup of pecans to that. So we cooked them at 400 degrees for 20 minutes. So I hope you like them. Give them a try, and anything that you do, make sure you make it with love. Thank you. Have a great day, everybody.